Hey everybody, it's your favorite Terry O'Brien coming to you from your favorite Terry O'Brien YouTube channel. This is your Thursday late afternoon. God, I can't believe I'm this sick 3 days before a Beatles show video. Um, I really can't remember the last time I played a gig where I wasn't sick in some capacity. Um, January was pretty okay, but this is the whole family's we're dodging all the flu bugs in here. Looks like I finally got caught up to me. So the beard is staying for at least one more day. And we're gonna keep it short today. I know I said that yesterday and ended up posting my longest video ever and most controversial by a mile. But today shouldn't be that bad. Don't forget, of course, Sunday night, 7 o'clock at Cabanas Beach Bar and Grill is 6th Annual Beatles Night Cape May Part 2. Only have to say that for a few more days. We hope to see you down there. Don't forget to get your Beatles t-shirt. Those are going to be $20. Those go to pay for the t-shirts themselves and to pay our guest artist, the lovely and talented Leslie DeRose, a.k.a. Les DeRose, or more DeRose. When you see Les DeRose, you'll want more DeRose. Leslie, you can put that on a t-shirt if you want. And of course, today we have our mascot of the day is Xena. That's what she does. I think Misty's down under that chair to my two cats hard at work. Anyway, I've spent most of my night in a cold sweat over the Black Panther and comic book comments I made yesterday. I just want to clarify. I believe characters that are people of color, women, trans, gay. I think diverse characters are great. I think we need more of them. I think every segment of our society needs representation. But I, as a Silver Age Marvel, sorry, everything's hard. I'm on 3 different kinds of medication. As a Silver Age Marvel enthusiast, I would personally rather they create new characters that check those boxes, new and interesting characters and interesting adventure stories that just happen to be those things, as opposed to changing old and established characters. It might just be because I'm old now. But that's just me. Honestly, I think if the stories were good, I don't think there would be half of the consternation that there is from comic book fans of a certain age like myself. But from what I've read and seen over the last, pretty much since about 2014, 2015, the stories have just not been very good and have been very, very, very heavy-handed. And I'm not going to get into the politics of it, but if you're of a certain political stripe, then you'll probably like the stories. If you are anywhere to the other side of that political stripe, you will not like these stories, which to me has nothing to do with the characters or the sexuality or the color of the characters. It has to do with the quality of the story. So that's just me. And a big problem is that now a lot of the creators, the writers, and the artists are taking the approach of, well, if you don't like it, then don't buy it. Harumph. Which is fine. But I'm not sure that's the right approach. When characters like Spider-Man, Captain America, Hulk, even the back in these days, you had Spider-Man, was your big character in Marvel. Everything else is kind of B-list. Captain America, Iron Man, Hulk. But even those B-list characters were selling 200, 300,000 issues a month. Now those characters are struggling to break 20,000 in sales a month. So I'm not sure, if you don't like it, if you don't agree with my politics, if you don't like my characters and their stories, well, then just don't buy it, stamp your feet. I'm not sure that is the correct approach. But I only buy, I rarely buy, floppy single issues of comic books. The kids and I hit the library 3 or 4 times a year and catch up on some trade paperbacks. On our 2 trips to the Hamilton Mall a year, we'll grab, 6 to 8 trade paperback collections of titles. And it's usually the classic stories: Secret Wars, Crisis on Infinite Earths, the Dark Phoenix saga, the Dark Knight Returns, the Elektra saga from Daredevil. I know if you don't read comic books, I'm speaking great to you right now. But, for me and my kids, we buy those stories because the new stories aren't really that appealing. They're overwritten, heavy-handed. The art's great, though. There's no John Burns or Frank Millers out there right now, in my opinion. But I shouldn't say that because I don't read enough comic books to give an informed opinion. But anyway, I just want to make it clear. I don't care what you are in real life, your color, your persuasion, but it's the content of your character, as a wise man once said. Anyway, a professional segue into these classic stories I'm talking about that we buy in these trade paperbacks are the stories that are still being mined for the last decade in the comic book movies that are coming out now, like a clip of one every couple of months. And yes, it's been 10 years of Marvel movies, the Marvel Cinematic Universe, starting with Iron Man back in 2008. 18 years of comic book movies as we currently know them, beginning with X-Men in 2000 and Spider-Man back in 2002. All the way back in 2002 they came out. And I remember that it was very, very important for the first X-Men movie to not suck. And it didn't. It wasn't Gone with the Wind, but it did its job. It wasn't terrible. It was relatively cohesive, and that was really important for laying the foundation of the sort of comic book movies that we know now. And I remember there being a lot more at stake with Spider-Man, because it was the most popular character in the world at the time. It's always Batman and Spider-Man, always like 1 and 1A on most popular comic book characters. In that first Spider-Man movie in 2002, they pretty much, aside from a really, really ridiculous costume for the Green Lantern, that's how medicated I am, the Green Goblin, Spider-Man's #1 enemy, they pretty much knocked it out of the park. Just to understand, if you hire a great, sort of already demonic-looking, wonderful character actor like Willem Dafoe, why he would put a big plastic mask on his face. I never quite got that. But I still love that movie. It was very important. And of course, I'm old enough to remember when Tobey Maguire was Spider-Man. They were on a third Spider-Man. Now I think Tom Holland, the new kid's doing pretty good. I didn't love Homecoming. I loved him in Civil War. So we'll see what the future brings with the Spider-Man movies. I remember being so excited for Spider-Man that I went to see the otherwise forgettable movie Final Fantasy, based on a pretty popular video game at the time. And I went to see the movies Final Fantasy with my friend Stephen Prince, just because they had the first Spider-Man teaser trailer attached to that movie. And it was pretty great. I don't remember the specifics. There was a bank robbery. But the teaser trailer was filmed pre-9/11. And the big sort of climactic shot was of Spider-Man webbing up the bad guys between the two towers, which is really sort of difficult to watch today. But at the time it came out, it was pretty breathtaking, because you just knew there was a new level of sophistication in visual effects when Spider-Man was coming out. So again, I just wanted to clarify my my stance on characters of certain persuasions and colors, and I don't care. Make good stories. I'd prefer you not make Captain America a Nazi, but hey, do what you want. People are going to buy it or not buy it. So, do you tune into this channel for controversial topics and you hear how sick I am every week, and or should I just keep it focused on promoting my upcoming projects? My most active commenter, Erin McFeeters, she has left, drum roll please, thank you, 2 comments on the channel, on the YouTube page. She likes the idea of an audiobook. I'm not sure, that might be something I have to do. I'm not sure I can do it video, because video eats up a lot of gigabytes. That might have to be something I do audio and then transfer over to the chip. I'm going to figure out how to do that from my podcast anyway, so that might be in the offing in the near future, as they say. And I already have permission from Exit Zero, who owns the rights to most of my stories, to go ahead and do that. Let's see, where else am I? Please feel free to leave comments on the YouTube page right down here. Wendy, the best I can tell you is right down here should be a prompt that says leave a public comment. At least that's what it says on my laptop. Apparently it's different on mobile, but I would just keep tapping on stuff until you get it figured out. That's how I learned how to do everything on a computer or a device or a tablet. I just keep doing all the stuff I shouldn't do. And that's just a process of elimination. The remaining stuff might be right. I am the Occam's razor of adapting to new technology. So we need that 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 hours consumed to reach the monetization phase of YouTube. I am currently at, another drum roll please, 25 subscribers and 10 hours of consumed content, which is more than we had yesterday, so I'm very happy about that. Thank you to John Fullerton for being my latest subscriber. John is our sound guy at Cabanas when we do our Beatles and our Billy Joel shows. He does a great job down there. He's also possibly going to be part of TKO Productions with me and Kevin Ebner. He's an ace sound mixer at live gigs. He also he does fantastic live video and audio productions and in studio. And that's John Fullerton, spelled like it sounds. If you're interested in recording your project, he's going to be at Cabanas at about 6 o'clock on Saturday while we set up for our Beatles show. But thanks, John. I look forward to meeting with you Sunday afternoon for coffee. You're buying because I'm busted. Back to Aaron McFeeters for a moment, my most active commenter with 2 comments. She has mentioned that one of the things she would like to see on this channel is the occasional appearance by my wife, Catherine, which I wholeheartedly agree with. But me trying to get Catherine on camera is difficult. More difficult than getting this cat. Do you see how they fight me? But we're hoping Catherine can make it out Sunday to sing on a couple of Beatles songs Sunday night. She was a charter member of the Love Me Dudes back in 2012 when we first got together. She lasted almost 2 years with us before I fired her ass. Just a lot of back talk. No, I'm sorry. She got too busy with raising our children and all that kind of stuff. For those who don't know, my wife Catherine, you can look her up on my Facebook. She's a wonderful singer. We met at Elaine's Dinner Theater in the end of 1994-ish. And we were friends, and then we were enemies, then we were friends, and we started dating, and then we got married. And that was in 2000. She's a wonderful singer. It's one of the reasons why I married her, that and her undying ability to put up with my crap, which is a lot of crap. Anyway, that's about it today. I just wanted to get one out there. I wanted to keep creating consistent content. Please feel free to share these videos amongst your friends who might enjoy them. Do you want to see me tackle more controversial subjects? I will. If you think I should just keep it on the straight and narrow and just promoting my gigs, I will. I will listen to my customers and my consumers. I think my wife's always telling me to start my own sports blog. I'm not sure if she knows what a blog is anymore. I don't think, do blogs exist anymore? I think you just write now, right? You just put it all on the internet. Anyway, she's always said I should be a sports talking guy. So maybe I'll try to hit some sports. Obviously, a huge Eagles fan. Very, very, very pleased that they won the Super Bowl for the first time in my life. Don't forget, my schedule is, if I live that long, I will be at the Rio Station tomorrow night. That's Friday at 9 o'clock till about midnight. And then Sunday night is the big Beatles show at Cabanas. That's at 7 o'clock. It's going to fill up. The February show is always nuts, so get there early. Right down here, you can see my links to my YouTube, my Facebook, I think my email's down there, and my Patreon. I'm still at, last I checked, I was still at 2 patrons, still only related to one of them. May as well be related to the other one. So if you want to support my artistic endeavors this year in the Cape May area, go ahead and click on the Patreon. You can pledge as little as $1 a month, and $1 a month would be more than I had before, so I'd be very happy with that. And tell your friends if they're into theater, music, writing. I'll be getting into the writing once we get this last wheel show up and running. I got all the fiction stuff right here. I got to get down there. Anyway, I look forward to a very productive 2018. Go see Black Panther. Support that movie. It should. I want it to do well. Hope it does well. It's supposed to be great. I hope it's the best Marvel movie there is. And then after you see Black Panther, come sing some karaoke and then come to Beatles night. That's it. And until next time, catchphrase.